memory for the rest of your life. That's what the families of the Navy personnel are dealing with today. They need your prayers, they need your comfort, and that's why this morning I asked for your assistance in helping us deal with this case. We're going to get there. Give us a little bit of time and we'll provide all of the answers that we can for you. You can be proud of your community, you can be proud of your Navy. Thank God for the United States of America.
That's right.
Thank you.
All life matters.
Mayor. Thank you. Governor, thank you so much for being here and as a part of that. And I just want to say out to all of our Escambia County residents, City of Pensacola, how grateful we are that you're here. We've certainly gotten calls from our congressmen, our senators, and even the White House, and certainly they have expressed anything that they can do for our community, they are willing to do, and so we very much appreciate that. This is a tragic day for the City of Pensacola. Again, I think the world of our base commander here, Captain Kinsella, who always says that as goes the base, so goes the town, and as goes the town, so goes the base. There's a deep affinity and relationship between Pensacola NAS and the City of Pensacola, and certainly the men and women that work here and serve our country every day. This is a sad day, but I think some of the things that were said there that you've heard, this is also a community of great resiliency, and I'm confident that both NAS and the City of Pensacola will bounce back from this day and be stronger as we go through. But again, I'm certainly here in support of everyone, and certainly want to thank all of our first responders, especially those Escambia County Sheriff's deputies that got here and took care of neutralizing the threat. And certainly all of our Pensacola police officers that were here assisting. We had EMS from Escambia County, as well as fire and rescue from both Escambia County and the City of Pensacola. We certainly, all of our first responders, and what they do every day to keep us protected. You never know when you're going to have a day like December 6th. So again, thank you to all those individuals who serve us every day and take care of us. That's the professionalism you can expect from the City of Pensacola and Escambia County, and we certainly appreciate all those who've come. The governor, everyone else, the state of Florida has reached out to us all across the state, and we appreciate all of your thoughts and prayers. Please continue to keep thinking about Pensacola NAS and the people there, and we will bounce back from this. Thank you.
I think we have time, myself or some of the others, if there's any questions.
Governor, as a former member of the Navy JAG Corps, former officer who served in the Middle East, how would you expect this investigation to play out?
Well, I think that the FBI is probably going to brief you guys in due time, and I think they're leading for it. But obviously, when you have a foreign national involved, particularly in that part of the world, the investigation is obviously going to be different than if it were just somebody from a local community, and I think you'll see that as things go on.
Governor or Captain Kinsella, can you maybe help people understand the background nature of what this training program is? Why someone from Saudi Arabia was training here?
Yeah, I'll let the captain, if he wants to weigh in on that.
We have a international training syllabus. We have students from several different countries that come here. They learn aviation. They become naval aviators while they're here. It's something that we've been doing for quite a while, and it's with our partner nations. It's important that cross-pollination, that cross-training that we do with our allies is something that we've done for a long time. I mean, in World War II, we had Royal Air Force folks that were training here. There's always been international students training here because it's a good place to train and it's a good quality training.
How many students do you have, international students?
I can't speak to the exact number of international students.
Roughly?
A couple of hundred.
What was he training to do, sir?
Say again?
What was he training to do?
He was just in the aviation pipeline, so we'll just say he was training in aviation.
And at the time of the shooting, the suspect was a member of the Saudi Arabian Air Force?
I don't want to get into that. That's up to the FBI to complete their investigation to see exactly. It would be speculation on my part to say.
How far was he in the pipeline?
Again, I'm not going to speak to where he was in the pipeline or his exact training right now. I'll leave that.
Was he authorized to have a gun on base?
Weapons are not authorized on base. You can't bring a weapon on base unless you're.
Can you talk a bit about the security measures? I think that is one of the biggest questions. What types of measures are in place to keep something like this from happening?
Yeah, that's something that's difficult for me to speak here because our security measures, well, we keep them to ourselves for a reason. If I talk to you about our security measures, but I will say that we practice to this. This is part of our training. our Master at Arms and our civilian DoD, along with Escambia County and Sheriff's Department and with Pensacola Police Department, we train to active shooter scenarios regularly. We just did one recently. So this is, we never expect it, but we train for it, and we remain ever vigilant for it.
Do you expect there's going to be more changes to
Again,
security posted in this?
I'm not going to speculate.
Sure,
I'm not
Morgan,
gonna
How are
speculate.
you confident that he was acting alone?
I'm not going to speculate on the particulars of the investigation or exactly what happened.
Captain, can you talk about the? This was an act of.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Sheriff Morgan, I wanted to talk about the heroism of your deputies, how, their training prepared them and the quality of their character. They rushed in when a lot of people would not do so and risked their lives for that. I thought you'd like a chance to talk about them.
I appreciate that. We've been to the hospital, of course, to see the officers and their families. And to kind of reinforce what Captain Kinsella just said, we do active shooter training. It's both on-site training and also computer simulations that we train with the DoD police and the Master at Arms program in the Navy. And so this was an actual example of where all that training comes into being. How do we react to this, and how do we coordinate and communicate with each other? And so, unfortunately, that training was put to the test today. I'll tell you, it's hard to speak to that without tearing up. I could not be prouder of the men and women of the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. They ran to the fight, not from the fight. And even though they knew there was an active shooter, and again, the chances of putting your life in danger are great, guess where they went? They went inside. So let me tell you, the best of our community was on scene today, and that's why it turned out the way it did.
Sheriff, as time has gone on, you've learned more about what happened. Can you walk us through what happened today, please?
Well, just very briefly, we have a precinct not too far off the base. Thank God the call came in. We had officers that were available. It was about a 3 to 5 minute response. The call came in at 10 minutes to 7 this morning. I won't get into a lot of specifics on that because of the FBI investigation. And let me explain why we don't do that, folks. There's a whole lot of witnesses out there that are listening to these programs, that are on social media texting each other. The worst thing in law enforcement that can happen to you is for me to get a second, third, and fourth-hand story from an eyewitness, from someone who was there, who has a clear understanding of what occurred this morning, but now they're reading all the texts that they've sent people and people have sent back to them and what they see on the television tonight. And so that memory, which is very distinct right now, becomes clouded. And now we've begun to tell a blended story. It wasn't really what I observed, it's what you observed and I observed, and now we've shared it with 10 other people. So we want to be very careful with that. That's why I really think, as Captain Kinsella has told you, unfortunately, many times, we don't want to get into that, because if you were a witness, I would want to know where you were at in the building, what time you were there, when did you hear the first shot, what did you do, was your actions there, did you ever get eyes on the shooter, etc., did you help evacuate the building? Those are things that are critical for developing timelines, even to the point of angles of trajectory where students are running from.
I appreciate that. I was just wondering if there's been some facts that have already been established that we can.
The facts have been established that we have, unfortunately, now 4 dead, 8 injured.
What type of weapon?
It was a handgun.
Are you able to address whether or not the shooter's room was raided?
I will not.
Was his name Muhammad Al-Sharami?
I will not confirm that. And folks, I know the answers to your questions. I am not answering or confirming it, not because I'm attempting to be trite. It's because I am not the cognizant authority for this investigation. What that means is the FBI, the ATF, the NCIS on base are the lead agencies on this. We are a support element. And so while I have the answer to your questions, I am not at liberty to answer them.
Are you
Can you
sure whether
clarify
anybody
the
else was taken
numbers,
into
please?
custody?
I'm a little confused. I think this morning there
We now have an additional person.
additional person
Yes.
wounded.
Yes.
Do you have an update on
Hey folks, I'm Jason Borst, the Public Affairs Officer for Installation. We're going to start the press conference right now.
That's it.
We have more information will come out later. We'll be sure to share that with everybody. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, how are you?
At FBI Jacksonville. At FBI Jacksonville on Twitter. Follow them, and we'll be giving you some updates on when we'll be pushing stuff out, and when any other events will pop out. At FBI Jacksonville on Twitter. Sorry. So Amanda's on her way, and she'll be monitoring that. So just stay with that. At FBI Jacksonville. All right.
Thank you.
That's all right. Will you hold it right while you
Oh, this
That's fine.
this is not comfortable. No, I can see. I was looking at
And it's like
back
it's
off. I
lighting
can
up,
see your.
it's
chin.
lighting up my face.